Hey, good evening. Good evening, everybody. Good to see you. Happy Monday. Listen, if you are jumping on live, if you could say hi in the chat, let me know where you're tuning in from. Hey, I'm just curious who saw the eclipse today? Let me know in the chat. Let me do a little tech check here and make sure that I'm streaming. Yep, I see me. Okay. So whatever platform you're watching this on, if you could just let me know that you are live, that would be awesome. I'm going to be checking the comments in the Facebook group, but you might be watching on another platform, and I will circle back around and read your comments. And if you're watching the replay, let me know that as well. It's Monday, April 8th, and today was eclipse day. And I know that we had a 98% eclipse here. And I think I went inside and I missed like the main part where it was right over it, but I still saw kind of the before and after, and it was pretty cool. So if you saw the eclipse today, let me know in the chat. I'm curious to know. Um, and again, if you are watching live, let me know. Um, just say hi. Don't be one of those, lurkers in the background. We've got a good topic. We're actually going to talk about how to keep your energy up when you have ADHD. There are a lot of people who, they don't have an ADHD diagnosis of it as an adult, and they end up going to therapy and trying doing all these medicines for depression and anxiety and things like that. And it ends up that the true diagnosis is ADHD. And when they finally figure that out, sometimes they still feel like they have to exert all this extra energy just to keep up. And so they have a difficulty maintaining their energy. And so I just wanted to jump on here and give you a few tips for how you can, energize your life as you cope with ADHD. So let me know. I don't see any comments. So hopefully you are watching and you're ready for some good tips. Hopefully you're not sleeping because this is all about energy, right? So if you're watching the replay, let me know that as well. Just going to give a couple more minutes to see who hops on here. And I was curious to see who got to see the eclipse. I'm in a suburb of Memphis, Tennessee, and so a lot of people here that were really into it drove to Arkansas where they could supposedly see it better. And we did have a cloudy day, but it kind of cleared up just for that time frame. So that was pretty cool. All right, so I'm not seeing a lot of comments here, but I'm looking on my phone. Hey, if you are one of those people that just like turns it on, listens or whatever, just go ahead and type here live or something. It does help with the Facebook algorithm to have comments and shares and likes and things like that. If you don't do that, then it ends up not showing you. You don't get any reminders for any time that I come on live. So if you are on live, let me know. Let me know if you saw the eclipse today. And we're talking about tips to energize your day, energize your life as you cope with ADHD symptoms, whether you're diagnosed or not, doesn't matter. And so I hope these tips will just kind of help you a little bit on your journey to success. The first one is to watch out for rumination. And rumination, that is thinking about the same thing over and over again. Kind of, we call it looping thoughts, like you're stuck, maybe obsessing over something. That can really sap your energy. And so a lot of people, a lot of adults, at least with ADHD, can be more prone to rumination because our brains have trouble shifting gears, switching from one thing to another. Excuse me. So we kind of get stuck sometimes. And, if we sometimes when we try to stop the thoughts, it makes them persist even more, if that makes sense. And so instead of trying to stop them, go ahead and label them. These are ruminating thoughts. I'm ruminating or I'm spiraling again. Um, or, you can even say, okay, I'm obsessing about this. Like call attention to it. Or, oh, there's worry. There it is. Just almost like you're standing outside yourself and you're labeling it. And then just observe what happens. Because research has shown that when you name something like that, it can lower the intensity and the duration of whatever it is. So in this case, ruminating thoughts. And again, if you are watching live, please say hi in the chat. Um, and if you're watching the replay, let me know that as well. So again, just watch out for rumination. Label it, call it for what it is, and try to gain control over it. Excuse me. Another thing that will really help you stay energized is to increase structure in your life. I know it sounds boring. You're like, oh, great. I don't want to do that. A lot of times people with ADHD struggle with this cluster of cognitive skills called executive functions. And executive functions, those are things like time management, long-term planning, initiating tasks, organization, follow through, and prioritizing. And when you struggle with those type of things, it can lead you to having lower energy. Challenges in executive function can make you feel anxious, and you end up feeling exhausted. So you do need to get some help in that area. That's one of the things I love to help people with in my coaching program. But if you don't have an ADHD coach, you need a schedule or a game plan that will help you feel calmer. Even though you may not like to do it, it doesn't sound fun. Get a planner, get a calendar. It's paper or digital, it doesn't matter, whichever one you're going to use, and use that to help you put some structure in your day, your tasks, and your time. Increasing structure actually makes you more productive, and it helps you to be more organized, and all of that is more energizing and less stressful. So increase the structure. Whatever structure you have in place now, plan a little more so that you're adding to that. And again, if you're watching the replay, let me know that. I'm seeing no comments, so that's okay. I'm not going to have my feelings hurt. No, I'm just kidding. There we go. There we go. Okay, so watch out for rumination, increase structure. And then I want you to think about how you talk to yourself. That's another thing that saps our energy. A lot of people a lot of adults anyway, with ADHD, they feel like they're never going to catch up. They're never going to achieve their goals. And a lot of times that's due to having failures or rejections or past experiences that are painful. And so you have to be aware of your self-talk, like how you're talking to yourself. So if you're saying things like, I can't do anything right, or why am I always screwing things up? My work is never good enough. This is never going to work for me. That type of self-talk, a lot of times we call it the inner critic. That can sap your energy, just like rumination can. So the first way to deal with that is to notice it. So think about how you're talking to yourself, and go ahead and label it, just like you did with rumination. You say, oh, there's worry. We can say, oh, there's my inner critic again. And then remind yourself, everybody makes mistakes. I'm a work in progress. The principles of challenging the inner critic can help improve your energy. And so and this is based on decades of research from the field of cognitive behavioral therapy, or some people call it CBT, um, which is the best kind of therapy you can get for ADHD, by the way, in my opinion. But go ahead and label that inner critic and stop it. Another thing that you've heard before and you already know is to improve your sleep. There's been more attention over the past decade on sleep and the impact of sleep deprivation. And restorative and adequate sleep is important, not just for energy, but for your cognitive functioning. Your memory is adversely affected when you don't get enough sleep. Your your mood, your patience level, your decision making abilities, all of that is affected by sleep. And so what happens is that when you don't get enough sleep, your ADHD symptoms get worse because you've got periods of uninterrupted sleep. I mean, of interrupted sleep. Maybe you've got insomnia, sleep apnea, sleep deprivation. And so you really do want to make that a priority. Don't just put that aside and say, well, I'll deal with that later, because it catches up to you, you know. So, just a few tips to improve these sleep difficulties. You want to avoid electronic devices for 3 to 4 hours before bedtime. That's what they say. I know. And I know that's difficult because I have so many people that I talk to who sit there and scroll right before bed. And I've been guilty of that, right? But supposedly the blue flickering light does something in your brain that makes it very difficult for you to have a good night's sleep. So if at all possible, try to avoid screens right before bedtime. And you need to establish a consistent evening routine, something that tells your brain, okay, we're getting ready for sleep now. Um, do, the same thing every night, and things that wind you down. Um, your environment, it needs to be calm. It needs to be uncluttered. If you have stuff all in your bedroom, you need to make it a priority to declutter your bedroom. Don't have clothes all over your bed and things like that. Excuse me. So that's really, really important. If you get distracted with noise, use earplugs, use a white noise machine, um, to block out any distracting noises. And another really good thing to do for many reasons, but one is that it really helps your sleep, is to exercise. And don't exercise right before you go to bed. Some people do that, but exercise, earlier in the day. And if you have low energy during the day, or maybe you have like chronic insomnia, it's important to talk to a doctor. There might be some kind of medical causes of fatigue, but you don't want to just go for months without a good night's sleep. Um, so, again, if you're watching live, please let me know in the chat. And, oh, hi, Mo. Uh, so, we're talking about how to keep your energy up. And you definitely want to exercise, but you want to do it not right before bed. Is what the doctors say. Hey, I'm not a doctor, but another thing that really keeps your energy up is don't work all the time. Play some, put in some breaks, put in relaxing things. A lot of times people with ADHD, they feel so overwhelmed. Um, you know, a lot of times they feel like they don't have enough time to do all the things they need to do. And so they ignore play and relaxation and pleasurable activities. And that's a mistake. You want to make sure that your life is balanced in that way. um, I've had clients say, well, I don't have time to relax. I don't have time to play. Or I don't deserve that because I didn't do what I was supposed to do today. But actually, play and creativity can energize you. and it can help you have a better outlook. It makes you more productive. So when you have more energy, you're going to be more productive. So, it could be things like watching a comedy, playing with your dog, visiting friends, maybe doing something artistic or creative, like cooking or um, the other day I planted flowers in planters, and it just was so therapeutic to be creative and put the colors together a different way. And so make sure that you prioritize that. Um, set goals, just like a map, like have a roadmap, specific goals that can help you stay on track. And as you make progress on your goals, it gives you some momentum. So you can celebrate those little victories. And each time you reach some sort of milestone, have some sort of little happy dance, little celebration, and it gives you that momentum and guidance. And I would recommend that you set several um, short term and long term goals. Short term could be like a month or less, long term, maybe even a year. People with ADHD were not great long term planners. But when you have that big goal, you can break it up into little smaller steps to get you there. Um, and effective goals, you've probably heard a lot of teaching already about goals, but they need a specific outcome. You know, you can, increase sales by $10,000 or eat a meal with my family 3 times a week. It's some specific number. You need a game plan, you need strategy, and you need a way to measure the outcome. Some kind of a chart or a checklist or some way that you're tracking so that you know if you're reaching your goals or not. Um, Again, if you're watching live, say hi in the chat. I have to keep looking at my phone for the comments, but I mentioned exercise. Um, you need to incorporate exercise. I know if you don't have energy, then you might feel like, well, I don't have energy, so I can't exercise. But when you expend the energy to exercise, it actually gives you energy. Cardiovascular exercise, walking, biking, running, dancing, swimming, um, tennis, any of those activities that get your heart rate up in your target zone for a while, um, uh, really actually does energize you, you know? Um, Cardiovascular exercise can improve your sense of well-being, your sense of energy. Um, and there are a lot of different theories as to why cardiovascular exercise has that benefit. But one of them is that it releases endorphins, which is kind of that feel-good chemical. It's it's sort of like increasing a motivational transmitter called dopamine in your brain. And if you have ADHD, we love that dopamine, right? Now, you don't have to exercise a lot. If you exercise too much, it actually creates fatigue. Um, I used to do marathons and triathlons and all that stuff. And there were times when I ran myself too hard. Um, and I actually, that made it worse. I was tired. I got sick more often. So you have to find that balance. You don't want to be obsessive about it, but you just want to make sure that you are making that a part of your routine. Every week, you need to be putting some sort of cardiovascular exercise into your schedule for the week, um, because it will increase your energy. So you need to watch what you eat, what you drink as well. A lot of times ADHD people we love coffee, we love caffeine, but if you have too much, it's kind of like exercise. You have too much, then your energy level spikes up and then it crashes. Same with sugar. You'll get that initial spike and then your blood sugar will drop too low and you get sleepy with carbs and sugars and things like that. So just kind of to summarize, adult ADHD, it can be challenging. As you try to pursue success in your personal life, your professional life, Um, Sometimes ADHD can be challenging, but if you do some of these things that I suggested, it's going to give you that stamina and that energy that you need to achieve your potential. Um, so if you want to know more about adult ADHD and coping strategies, I would be happy to meet with you. I have little coffee chats on Zoom, and if that's something that you are interested in, just reach out and let me know, and I'll send you the Zoom link. But uh, don't feel like you have to be, you know, zoom, 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 high energy all the time. Because what some people do is they'll get hyper focused on something, and then they just go, 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 and they don't take breaks, and then they crash, and their medication wears off or something like that. So you want to be strategic. You want to plan breaks. You want to plan your day. Create that structure that I mentioned earlier. That's so important. So those are my tips. If you're in my Focus and Flow group, which is my paid membership, you're going to get some more tips. But if you're interested in that, let me know. It's only $27 a month. But I hope that was helpful. And again, if you're watching the replay, let me know if you saw the eclipse today. I'm just curious. And I hope that these tips were helpful. If they are, let me know. I'd like to hear from you. And I hope you have a fabulous rest of your Monday and a great week ahead. Bye.